Today we are going to study search in an array. Along with the study of searching in an array, we are going to perform a example that is from example is taken from practical, that is to search an element in an array using linear search. So we are going to perform linear search on the array. Theoretically, we are going to explain what is searching and what is linear search, and practically we are going to implement a program that the array search an element in the array, but the searching is done using linear search. Let us understand the linear search. What is search? Search is try to find something. For example, we are looking for a book, math book in our bag. We are looking for a particular student in a class. There are two methods of search in an array. They are linear search and binary search. In this lecture, we are focusing only on linear search. Linear search is one of the commonly and mostly used method for searching in an array in case there are less number of candidates, in case there are less number of elements. If the number of elements are large, we prefer binary search. So a linear search or sequential search is a method for finding element within an array. It sequential check each element of the array until a match is found or the whole array has been searched. So it sequentially means one by one. For example, we take attendance in the class in a sequential manner. Like we say roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3. This is the way we took the attendance. So likewise, linear search sequentially check one by one each element of the array until a match is found. It may be looking for some element like 40 in the array. So until it found a 40, it keep on checking each element of the array, or the whole array has been searched. So it stops in two conditions. Either it found the element in the array, then it stop, or either the array has been completely searched. So this is linear search. Here we are discussing two examples for linear search. The blue color array is of size 10, ARR0 to ARR9, and there are 10 elements stored in the array in a random way. They are not sorted, they are not arranged in some order, they are just stored in a random way. So here for sequential search, you start with ARR0. You go to ARR1. From ARR1, you go next to ARR2, next to ARR3. You cannot move from ARR3 to ARR5. No, this is not allowed because it is a sequential search. So you must go ARR3 to ARR4. Then only you move to ARR5. You repeat this step until the array is finished, until all the elements are searched in the array. So in this example, suppose you are searching for 34. In this example, suppose you are searching for 34. So how the algorithm proceed? First, it compares 7 with 34. It is not there. 7 is not equal to 34. Then it compares 3 with 34. Then 3 is not equal to 34. Then it compares 78. Then it compares 34. When it compared 34 with 34, it found the match. Yes, the match is there. So it stopped the searching of the array. Similarly, in the green diagram, we have 9 elements. The size of the array is 9, 0 to 8. So we are searching for 20. Here it is written find 20. So it compared 10, 50, 30, 70, 80, 60 and 20. It find the 20 and here it stops. Let's understand the practical. Here an array is declared with 10 elements ARR0 to ARR9. Elements are already entered into the array. Before starting any writing any program, you must know what is the input from the user you require and what is the output for the user. So in this program, we take item to search from the user, and as an output, item is presented at location X. If we found the match, then it will be written like this: item is presented at location X. And if we didn't find the match, we will say it is not present in the array. These are the input and outputs we require for this program. You can start from any end, no problem. For sequential search, you can start from 9 also. ARR 9, ARR 8, ARR 7. You can start from ARR 9 to ARR 0, no problem. You can start from anywhere, like from any end. Either you can start from ARR 0 or you can start from ARR 9. The loop is preferable and only suited method for searching in an array. So for search each and every element, we are using for loop, and it is the only suited method. We cannot compare one by one every element with the item because an array can be of size 500. So we cannot do this. And the third point is you can start from any one end. So we are starting from the left side. We are starting from ARR 0 to ARR 9. And we are using for loop from 0 to 9. Start from any end. Compare the value of array element, that is ARRI, with the user given item value. In this program, we are going to start from the left hand side, that is ARR 0. Compare the value of each array element. Firstly, we are going to compare ARR 0 with the item. So here we write I because we are going to use it in for loop. So ARR I equal to item. It's equal to double equal. It's not single equal to, it's double equal to. Double equal to is comparison operator. And when you compare two values, the result of comparison can be either true or false, that is 1 or 0. So we are going to compare first element of the array with the item that is given by the user. If the comparison result is 1, that is two of them matches, we break the loop and you need not to search anymore. Once you find the match, you need not to search anymore. So we are comparing ARR 0 with item, we are comparing ARR 1 with the item, so on we move to the right hand side of the array, like ARR 0 to ARR 9. Anywhere in between, if we find the match, we break the loop. Otherwise, the loop will be break after completion of its iterations. Suppose I am running loop for 9 times, so after 9 iteration, it will break. So breaking the loop, you come outside for the for loop. When you break the loop, you come outside of the for loop. There are two cases that you come out of the for loop. Number one, you break the loop in case the match is found. And number two, when no match is found and finally the loop end. So there are two cases. One is you break the loop and you will break only when you find the match. And second is you didn't break the loop and finally the number of iterations are completed and you are out of the for loop. So the question arises, how will you differentiate that which case you are in? Means you are out of the for loop. How will you decide that loop is either broken by you or finally the loop ends? Let's check it in the program. So again, a simple C program, hash include stdio.h void main. We declare an array of size 10 int ARR 10. The name of the array is ARR. We put the elements, initialize ourselves the elements of the array, and these elements are same as I discussed in the example. And I declare two variables, item and I. I is for looping, and item I am going to ask for item value from the user. Printf, enter an integer to search in the array. Scanf %d ampersand item. So whatever the user enter, I will store it in a variable item. Suppose user enter 10. So I will store 10 into the variable item, and now the value of the item is 10. And I'm going to run a loop for I equal to 0, I less than 10, because size of the array is 10. So I'm going to 0 to 9. So it's written as I less than 10, I plus plus. So increment 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I just write a statement. If ARR I equal to double equal to item, then break. This means if you find the match, come out of the loop. We will decide what to do or what to say to the user or what not to say after we come out of the for loop. So I'm just written here ki if ARR I is double equal to item, you come out of the loop. If it is not equal to item, then keep on rotating the loop. So suppose user is searching for 10, so it will compare 10 with 7. No, if is not true, then break will not work. Then again it search 3 with 10. Again, if is false, 78 with 10 false, 30 or 34 with 10 false, 67 with 10 false, 574 with 10 false, 32 with 10 false, 9 with 10 false, 56 with 10 false, 5 with 10 false. You come out of the for loop. Now for loop ends. Now you check what is the value of the for loop. In last iteration, the value of the for I is 9, and it will increment to 10. And again it try to runs the for loop, and i's the condition is I less than 10. The for loop will work until I is less than 10. But here I is not less than 10, I is equal to 10, so for loop will not work. So I have written if I is less than 10, the value of I will remain less than 10 only when you find the match in the array and you break the loop. When you break the loop, then definitely I will be less than 10. For example, you are searching for 3. First you compare 7 with 3. The match is not found. Then again you compare 3 equal to 3. Yes, 3 is double equal to 3. Then what happen if become true and the break statement is executed, you come out of the for loop. Now what is the value of the I? The value of I is 1, because for 0 ARR, when I was 0, ARR 0 is 7. When I was 1, ARR 1 is 3. So when the value of I was 1, you break the loop. Now if I is less than 10, yes, I is less than 10. You print integer is found at location percentage di, means it will print integer is found at location 1. Else will not print this time, right? So this is how the practical perform here. If you search on the internet for linear search algorithm on arrays, you will find different methods. One of the method is to use flag in the for loop. In the for loop, they are using a variable with the name flag. Initially, the value of flag is 0. In the for loop, if the match is found, they set the value of the flag is equal to 1. If the match is not found, they will not change the value of the flag. After coming out of the for loop, they will check what is the value of flag. If the flag is 0, this means they print the element was not in the list. If the value of flag is 1, they print yes, the element is found in the list. So this is one of the method. Another method, they are using return 0 in the for loop. In the for loop, if they found the element, rather than breaking the for loop, they just write return 0. By writing return 0, they are exiting the program. The program which they will write, they will have a difference from our program. We start program by writing void main. They will start by writing int main. So main will return something and they write return 0. So the program ends. They will print yes, the element is found, and they do return 0. This is another method. One of the very famous method that is also used in the book GS Baluja is that they insert the element, they ask for element from the user and they insert themselves the element at the last position of the array. So definitely during the search, the element will be found. They will check if the element is found before the last location. This means the element was actually in the list. And if the element is found at the last position, this means element was not in the list and it is inserted by the programmer itself. So this is some ways to implement linear search, and there are many more. But in this lecture, I tried to implement linear search in as easy way as possible. Thank you.